Okay, Mooney, it's all set for you. I checked everything out.
Didn't take you very long.
Yeah, well, I work fast.
How much?
$16.
Oh, well, I better try it myself first.
All right.
Be right back.
Rodney? Rodney?
Hey, Princess, how are you?
Fine, thank you. Come to visit you.
Well, how nice.
Can we wait inside? It's a bit windy out.
Yeah.
I brought you a homemade lunch. I know it seems kind of corny, but I was thinking about you.
Thank you.
Don't have to worry, I won't be doing it again unless you ask me.
I'm not worried. Pretty good.
Thank you.
How's your mother?
Oh, she's fine.
That's good. She's feeling all right, huh?
Mm-hmm. Everything's fine. Anything else you'd like to ask?
What do you mean?
I mean, like, maybe you'd like to know, how my father's feeling, or do I think perhaps it might rain today? Everything's changed between us, hasn't it?
What do you mean?
I mean, if we can't be close, then we can't be anything at all. Isn't that so?
No, that isn't so.
Here. But if it starts missing again, I'll be back. 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16.
Thank you very much.
Elliot.
Hi, Dad.
You won't believe this, but the doggonedest thing happened to me today.
What? Says he, leaning closer to hear his father's every word.
Let me tell you. Fella came in, he bought this and that, and then he offered me $40 for my rocking chair. You know, the one I sit in over by the stove?
Yeah, I know.
Just plopped $40 into my hand, reached out and almost took it out from under me, so to speak.
Yeah, you don't watch out, you're going to find yourself in the furniture business.
Yeah, I guess they associate rockers with old New England. Now, if I can get another one for $20, that'll be a pretty good profit, huh?
Yeah,
I'm jabbering away, and you're thinking about something. What is it?
Got a poisoned pen letter here about Ann Howard.
Well, file that in the wastebasket.
Well, that's not all there is to it. Mike Rossi just called. He says Dr. Morton got one about it, too.
Oh?
And the courageous author seems to feel that the lady shouldn't be allowed to work with children. She's a physical therapist, you know.
Are these anonymous letters?
Yeah. Strange. A girl comes into town and things get all stirred up. You done any thinking about that bluff, Dad?
Can't get it out of my mind.
Well, can you remember, after the accident, who made the strongest accusations? And forget about the children now. What about the parents?
Oh, it's too long ago, Elliot. Too long. I remember I was worried sick at the time. I felt kind of responsible because the cottage belonged to me and the children were curious because that's where Elizabeth died. I'm sorry. I didn't mean to bring it up again.
Oh, don't be sorry, Dad. It happened. It's never going to go away, you know. Oh, I can just see those people that accused me of killing Elizabeth. Maybe Ann Howard is going through the same thing.
No.
What do you mean, no?
Well, it's not the same. All those people, the children, the parents, could they all be wrong? Would they just stand there and point their finger and say, she did it, she pushed him over the bluff, just to be cruel?
Well, who would want to harm her now? The Weber boys' parents are dead. The parents of the other children that were playing with Ann that day. Why would they want to strike back now? What's the point?
Well, maybe with her background, she shouldn't be working with children.
Well, what's her background got to do with it?
What about Allison? Suppose she still needed therapy. What would be your opinion of Ann Howard then?
I'd be pleased. I'd be very pleased to have an obviously competent and obviously professional woman working with Allison. Great.
You mean not even a shred of doubt?
Now, I expect more of you than that.
Don't expect anything more from me. I'm not an old philosopher that hands out wisdom like I hand out pickles and potatoes and such. I'm just a fellow that's been around a long time, maybe too long. You know something? I'm going to go and get myself a rocker.
17 years. Has it been that long?
17 years ago this summer.
Well, that's going to take some remembering.
Well, I don't expect you to remember the exact details moment by moment.
I remember some of the things that happened, but the fact is I have a bad memory.
Me too. But it finally came back to me. I had to admit to Miss Howard that although I accused her of pushing your brother off the bluff, the truth was I didn't actually see her do it.
That kind of puts you in a funny spot, doesn't it?
It did.
Well, all I remember is she pushed Chris off the bluff.
You saw her do it?
Yes, I think so. But you have me worried. This Miss Howard. Why is she trying to raise such a thing about this? Chris is blind. It's too bad, but there's nothing we can do about it. He's not in the greatest shape, but he's going through college, and he's doing a good job of it. Is somebody giving Miss Howard a hard time about this?
No, nobody's bothering her. She's retained me to find out what actually happened because it's important to her personally to know, that's all.
It's kind of expensive, isn't it, trying to find these people now after all this time?
Yes, it is.
If it means so much to her, you start asking the questions, and if I can remember, I'll help you.
Before the incident on the bluff, was your brother accident-prone?
No. He'd bang his thumb with a hammer once in a while. Once he stepped in a rabbit trap, but it was covered with snow. That's the only accident that I remember.
Of all the kids playing on the bluff that day, were any of them hostile toward your brother?
No, he was a good kid.
He still is a good kid.
Yeah, you read your book. The president of my brother's fan club.
Did Chris have any prior medical history of dizziness or fainting spells?
No, not that I remember.
Okay, Lee. Thanks for your cooperation.
Forget it. Listen, if I do remember anything, I'll give you a call.
Appreciate that.
Does this investigation mean that you're going to go question my brother about what happened? I mean, he has enough problems as it is without bringing this up again.
Well, I understand that. But I'm afraid I might have to question him. I might not have any other choice.
Well, supposing after this whole thing's over, you find out that Miss Howard really did it.
Well, she knows that's a possibility. She still wants to find out the truth.
Well, I guess we have to give her credit for that, don't we?
Thanks again, Lee. Mrs. Weber?
Well, you really spread it on with a shovel, didn't you? You should get a medal for that performance. It's too bad you let Chris sit up there and bust him like he's got some kind of a disease.
Knock it off, Sandy.
Why can't we ever go and see him? He's begged you. I begged you.
You sure know how to get involved in other people's business, don't you?
Preview from the continuing story of Peyton Place.
Forget the charity. Norm, what is it? Are you in trouble or something?
I have never had to beg for a job anywhere. Doctor, I'm begging now. Every time I step outside of this house, I am terrified. You were so sure your money could bury the truth.